Hey guys, welcome back to Heavy Metal Rex. My name is Awais, and today we are talking about Cobb. Yes, today is the first day of SEMA, and Cobb Tuning has finally released their AccessPort for the 2022 WRX, and it's a very exciting day because the car's been out about 8 months or so, and people have been really looking forward to this. So we're going to talk about what we have right now. So I'm on Cobb's website, and as you can see, AccessPort is ready to be able to add to your cart. $725 is what it's going to cost you, which I don't think it's that much more than the old one. I believe the 21 was about $625 or $650. So really, I mean, everybody's been throwing the new car tax on all these new parts. Looking at you, ETS, but it's, it's a tune. It's whatever. In the box, you get same as before. You get your little carrying case. You get the ODB cable, or not a charging cable, a transfer cable, some face plates, and I'm going to be honest, a not so great mounting solution. I had this for my 2021 and I hated it. I ended up going with the vent mount, which they do sell. It's a little expensive, but it's 100% worth it. Now, all that is cool. What about the numbers? This is where things get a little bit interesting because Cobb has shown they've got two graphs up, one for 93 and one for 91. But to me, it looks like they went with the same route as manufacturers do and they are showing crank horsepower and not wheel horsepower. There is a difference, especially with all-wheel drive cars. And it is interesting because they are, for 91, they're saying you can get about like 260 pound-foot of torque on stock, and you're getting about 277-ish. This is just really hard to read this. I'm not even going to try to read this. I'll check on the next page. They actually do have all of their data in like written form instead of just graph. I mean, the graphs look cool. They get you in. It's very exciting. They're colorful, but this definitely is something to talk about. So if we look at the 91, they're saying basically you're going to be able to make 288 and 306 pound-foot of torque. 288 horsepower, 306 pound-foot of torque on 91. That's not bad. That's really not that bad. But remember, that is to the crank. And we'll actually do some conversions here in a little bit. Then if we come down and look at the requirements, which is the same thing as before, there was a part requirement for each stage that you got from Cobb. This one requires really nothing. Basically, the car can be 100% stock, minus catback, which we all know does not give you any performance benefits. And you can use the tune, no problem. Same as it was before. 93, similar story. You don't really need anything extra. 310 horsepower is what they're claiming you can get. 298 pound-foot of torque. This is on 93, and this is to the crank. And we'll do some conversions here a little bit. Same requirements here. Nothing. No physical requirement whatsoever until they release either their own intake, and I'm sure they will have a Stage 1 Plus, or if they decide to do a downpipe, which as of right now, I still haven't heard if they're doing one yet. I've heard other things. The intake for sure they're doing. They've already said that they are not doing flex fuel, 100% not doing it. So E85 users kind of out of luck as of right now. They did say that they have some sort of compliant version coming. I don't know what the hell that even means. Either use the 85 or you don't use the E85. There's like nothing in between. So that's going to be really interesting. But these numbers, they're very cool. 310 wheel horsepower, 298 pound-foot of torque on a Stage 1. That's not bad. Now, of course, you are going to have to flash it to your ECU. So there is that whole, is my car going to be warranted and all that stuff. People have talked about it non-stop when it comes to Cobb. The way that it works is your warranty is not voided. It's just if something breaks and Subaru says, hey, it's because of the Cobb, you're kind of SOL, or it's because of the tune, you're SOL. Which, again, I'm sure anecdotally you will find tons of these stories on Reddit, on Facebook, everywhere, so I'm not really going to get into that part. What I want to talk about is these numbers. Now, if you don't know, wheel horsepower and crank horsepower are two different things. Crank is what the engine can make. The wheel is what the engine can actually send through the transmission, through all the loss, to the actual wheels. This is generally 10 to 20% lower than what the crank horsepower is. Now, I have this super nifty website, which, again, it is not exact, but it has shown to me to be pretty close because we've tested a couple of my friends' cars through their dynos and this website seems to be pretty close. I would say about 10 plus or minus 10 horsepower. It's pretty damn close. So now, if they're saying you're getting 310 horsepower to the crank, that is 310 to the crank, go into all-wheel drive through manual. Let's see what that is. That's about 257 to the wheels. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'd say that's a similar upgrade to what we got in the VA. I believe the VA to the wheels was about 220-ish. And with the stage 1, it bumped it up to about 250, 260, roughly somewhere around that mark, which is pretty good. You know, I think MA Performance had one, Cobb had one, and they were both equally pretty good. 290, well, this is only horsepower. So like they're saying, what was it for the 91? For the 91, they were saying 288. So you're looking at 288 to the crank, all-wheel drive, manual, 238 to the wheels. So okay, I want to talk about this because this is something that has been bothering me, you know, since the car has come out. Everybody has been posting different wheel dyno numbers. Some have been higher, some have been lower, but they've all been different. So now Cobb is saying they're just using the actual crank numbers, which is very interesting. Now, I don't really know what to say. I don't have a dyno. I can't test it. I can't bring you numbers like this. I am hoping in the future, in the very near future, I can actually get my car on a dyno very soon, and that would be really cool to try out. So I can actually, I can give you the information. I can say, look, definitively, this is what it made. This is what people are saying on the internet. Here's what my information is. But if you look at like Savage Geeze's original, very first review that came up, and what like MA Performance put out, and even what Cobb themselves put out to the wheel, Rally Sport did it, Grip Speeds, I mean, so many people have done it. It's on YouTube, it's there. The car seems to be dynoing a little bit higher to the wheel. So when they come up and they tell me this is what they're gonna make to the crank, it's weird because like my own experience has been, if I race a VA, I'm beating them way, like a lot of car lengths. If I race an STI these days, I'm either keeping up with them or I am passing them by maybe half a car, right? The numbers really don't tell the full story on paper. Them saying, you know, if the 310 is to be believed and you're getting almost 360 to the wheel, it's going to be a substantially quick car. You're going to feel that. Now, with the way that the new car is set up and how smooth it is, it may not be this big jolt of power, because I think somebody from our group has already installed it on, we have a Facebook group, somebody's already installed it, and they have shown that they're getting about 15.5 PSI. I don't know if that was on 91 or 93. Compared to the stock of like 12.3, that's, you know, 3.5, that's a pretty good bump, and you should feel it. Even though the car is smooth, you should feel that jolt in power. But, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. You know, next up is going to be the question about, should you get an Accessport or should you get a JB4? It's going to be completely up to you. You know, with the Accessport, you are going to be writing to your ECU. There is going to be the whole warranty thing. I mean, if you want to modify your car, chances are you didn't really give a damn about warranty in the first place. Just saying, you know, there's going to be a lot of things to discuss about it. I just wanted to bring you guys this information now because it's finally out. I will keep an eye on everything that comes out and bring it to you as soon as it's available. I'm really excited because I think having another tuning option in the market just allows to have more competition, and more competition between companies means better products for us and better service for us as consumers. I've always been a proponent of that, and I hope this is exactly what happens here. You know, especially with, I believe Cobb said that their tuning software will be available to tuners in the next month or 2 months. Once this is out in the wild, I look forward to seeing, you know, what kind of e-tunes we get. You know, all these great shops like MIG Tuning and MR Tuning and, you know, Prime Motoring, all these guys that do some of this work. I look forward to see what they're going to be doing with this, you know, and we'll just wait and see. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please stick around. I will get all of this information out to you as quickly as I can. Thank you for watching.